This is a Lowrey Millennium. It's an LX2000. It has some contact issues and we're going to do a repair. It's a 2-manual organ. Means 2 61-note keyboards. That's 5 octaves. I'm going to test the keys right now. When I test the keys, I'm going to actually start from the reset mode. I'm going to put on a piano on the upper and the lower with the flutes. That B was out, that F is out. And the lower. Okay, I'm going to pause this now. So we marked all the keys that are bad using just a light stick painter's tape so it won't mar the finish on the keys. We're just going to double check the keys. This E right here, it gave me trouble before, and I figure rather than not do it, we'll do it. Once you're doing a couple keys, you may as well do whatever you think you need to do. Okay, those are the keys that are out. There are 3 different ways to fix the keys. I'm going to go over all 3, but in order to get to the keyboards, I'm going to have to take off the back of the organ, and I'm going to pull the roll top, so we're going to come around the back. You're going to see that this organ's got Phillips screw heads. I'm going to take those out, and when we come back, the back will be off. I'll get my screw gun. You're going to watch me take out a few of these Phillips screws. This is a Ryobi screw gun with a little flexor, because that's my favorite thing. And throw them in the can. You gotta take them all out. Like so. We'll come back when that's done. The back is off the organ, and the next step is we're going to remove the roll top. So what we're going to do, I'm going to close the roll top on the outside. And then on the sides, both sides, you're going to see little Phillips screws holding a little wood piece in, and it's where the slot of the roll top is. We're going to take those out, and then I'm going to pause. You can see I have the screws out there, and then this just comes out. The roll top is going to slide out, down, and out that thing. I got to take the one out of the other side. Over here, we'll come back in a minute and show you. With those blocks out, the roll top will come out. I'm going to open it from the front, part way, and then I'm going to move to the back for ups where I can grab it, and it comes through, and where that slot is, it'll pull out all the way out. Got to keep it as level as you can. It should go without saying you should be doing this with the organ unplugged. So that's all. And you can look at the roll top. While it's out, this is a good time to dust it, because this part of the roll top here you never can dust because it's under the cheek blocks and on the side. So we'll detail this very well when we're done. With the roll top out now, you can see the gauge, or the whatever, the space where the roll top normally sits. This part here, this whole display part, we're going to have to move it back so that we can access the keyboards. So the way we're going to do that, I'm going to come around the back of the organ. I'm going to grab a light so you can see on each side there's a metal bracket, and on that bracket are 1/4 inch wood screws or nuts, and we're gonna take those out, and then this whole thing is gonna slide back. So I'm gonna get the thing and remove the 5 screws from each side, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we've taken the screws out of that plate on the side wall on both sides. There was 5 wood screws. You can see they're all out. I didn't video myself taking them out because if you can't figure out how to take 5 screws, you probably shouldn't be playing in the back of your organ. Anyway, now the next thing we want to check before we pull back on it is how much play there is in the cables, because we're going to have to walk the whole display part backwards towards us. So I'm just going to get the wood bar, and you see I'm sliding it. I'm sliding it carefully so that I don't. And I can also tip it if I need to, like that, to access the back of the key. So, and it's going to be very important to access the back of the keys. So I am going to come around the front and take a peek. I don't know if this video is coming out good or not because I was trying to hold the drop light in a thing. And again, if I can just lift this up a little bit, that's about as much space as I need to get to the back of the key. Just about there. And we're going to take a pause. Now I'm blocking this just with this like polystyrene stuff, just enough to lift that up to give me access to the back side of the key. I'm going to go get another keyboard to show you the process for taking a key out. But and I'm going to tell you this, it's easier, I think, to do the upper keyboard than it is to do the lower, because to do the lower keyboard, the upper keyboard's going to have to get pulled back as well. But we're going to do the upper keyboard first. So I'm going to pause this and go get the other keyboard. Now for demonstration purposes, this is a Lowrey keyboard taken out of an organ, and I'm going to demonstrate how to remove a key. But you can also look down the rail here and see what's going on. You can see underneath the key. You can see what makes the contact. I'm going to show you more of this after we take a key out. We're going to look at the way the back is. You can see the back of the key. And just for display purposes, I'm going to take out this E key. So I'm going to stick a needle nose plier in here, and I'm going to open it a little bit while I'm pressing down, so you can watch as I do this. So here we are, looking down at the key. It's this E key. I have the needle nose pliers. I am going to put them in the back and spread the key just a little bit, and then pull down, and it comes right out. Now I'm going to take this off the tripod and start to look at stuff. Down there is the contact. That's the contact of the key. And this is the spring. And the way it works is that spring hooks on the back of that. I'm popping keys out here. I'm using a smaller needle nose plier that I have that's spring loaded, so it wants to open automatically. So I'm just going to keep it closed, walk it back into the back of the key that I need to remove, start to open it. I'm going to push down, and the key is out that easily. Okay, now when I take this out, it's going to look just like the one did over there. That's the spring. That's the key. So this is the spring, and the spring fits in. Well, I can't see without my glasses. The spring fits in a little square. You can see it there. That little square. That's where it's going to grab, and when we reinstall the key, it's going to push down. So at the beginning of the video, I said there's 3 different ways to fix the keys that don't work. I'm going to show you the first way. I plug the organ back in, so I'm going to come over here and turn it on. This is that E key that wasn't working. Sorry if you get the light from that's my shop light. Let's just get that out of the way. So okay, that's the E key. Now watch, I'm going to put on the piano again. That's the actual contact. Listen. Now, when I'm pushing it here, it works fine. When the key is on, it's not necessarily working fine. I'm going to reinstall the key to show you. So this is how we reinstall the key. We peel this back to get the spring, right? Hang on. Hang on. We line it up with a spring like that. We're going to push down on this and then install the key. I'm going to have to get rid of the light. And I'm going to put the camera back on the tripod so you can watch. And unfortunately, I can't do a close-up. We're going to take this key back out in a minute too. We're just going to put it in and take it out. Let's get as close as we can here. That's the key we're going to do. So we're going to grab the spring with this part. We're going to push down and put the key in. And you see the key does not work. The key is not working. I'm going to put the things back in the back and take the key back out. Watch. And I'm doing this now with it working on. I shouldn't be doing that. I should pull the plug, but let's not worry about that. And you'll see that now the contact itself is working, but not when the key is on. And that's because this part of the key pushes on the contact, and if you look at the contact, it's like a rubber. You see the rubber? Hang on. It's a rubber-coated contact there. I'll get out of the way. Matter of fact, let's shine a better light on it so you can really see good. You see that rubber contact? And sometimes what happens is the rubber compresses so that the key is not making good contact on the rubber, and underneath the rubber is the electrical contact. So the first way to fix this, which I learned from a repairman years ago, and I'm going to show you, it's not the best way, but it's certainly the fastest way, and it works for years. So what I'm going to do is the key, this part of the key hits the contact, and I'm just going to build that up with a little piece of regular electrical tape. So watch as I do that. I'm going to pause for a moment here. So back to this, I cut this little piece of electrical tape, and I'm just going to make a little bumper out of it. It's going to build up the bottom of that key, just that little amount. There's probably a better way to cut it. Matter of fact, let's do it a different way, because instead of side to side, if I cut it smaller, I don't want to cut my fingers while I do this. So I cut it this way, and now I can build it up this way, where it's not sticking off the sides at all, just front to back. And I'm going to reinstall the key. Hang on. Hang on. Gonna reinstall the key. Alright, that's gonna go right there. Make sure it's all lined up right. Alright, it's not lined up right. Hang on. Actually, if you stand it up like that and you pull it back. Nope. I'm not getting it. Well, see, if I don't get it, you may not get it either. There you go. And it's still not working. But now it's starting to work intermittently. But you got to press it a little harder. So this key is going to take 2 pieces of tape. Let's pause and put another piece on. It dawned on me that I didn't show where the tape was on the key. So that's the key removed. Oh, by the way, on these Lowreys, you'll notice there's a little metal weight under the front of the key that makes it feel good. And that's the little piece of tape. It's just on that square thing that sticks down. That's the part that hits the contact. And this is built up with 2 or 3 little pieces of electrical tape. just giving it like, I don't know, a couple thousandths of an inch more pressure on the contact itself. And what happens is the rubber of the contacts compresses a little bit and it just loses its pliability. And this is just, you know, I mean, this is a 20-year-old organ, so if it took 20 years for that to lose its pliability, this fix will last another 20 years. That's all. I followed the same procedure and I put on the second piece of tape, and now this key works great. Now I'm just going to demonstrate again taking the key out and reinstalling the key. So to take a key out, I go in from the back and I spread. So I'm opening up my thing and I push down and pull out. Hang on. A little more, and the key comes out. You can see the key is out. Then the spring, before we put the key back in, we're just going to look at this again. Take this off the tripod. That's the contact again. That little square behind the contact, this is the way the spring looks. Let's just lay it down. That's the spring. That part of the spring goes in the little square. It's going to stand up like that. That's the way it's going to be when it's done. But what we're going to do is we're going to set it like this. We're going to take this part of the key right here, that part of the key, we're going to push it on the spring to compress, and then we're going to, no, that wasn't right, this fell out. So let's do this again. There you go, and the key is in. Do you see that? And if you look inside, you can see where the spring is, and that key feels nice. If you get it wrong, you'll know it'll feel bad. That's enough of reinstalling the key.